Hello and welcome to my presentation on my doctoral capstone experience on occupational therapy's role in providing person-centered dementia care. The overall goal of my doctoral experience, or DC, is to explore occupational therapy's role in working with adults with dementia living on the memory care unit at Sunrise Senior Living Facility. Occupational therapy has the potential to provide role re-identification, access to meaningful occupation, and to create personally meaningful and validating spaces for this population. To promote scholarship of practice, I have completed a comprehensive lit review on all evidence-based practices within this population. I plan to continue to refine and add to this as my plan develops. I also plan to advocate for occupational therapy's role in implementing these interventions within the memory care setting by creating comprehensive materials to be reused by an interdisciplinary team at Sunrise. I also plan to conduct research with staff regarding ways in which residents currently maintain occupational identity in this setting. Sunrise Senior Living Facility is a nationwide chain of retirement communities dedicated to providing holistic and individualized care to a wide variety of seniors. Services include assisted living, independent living, memory care, respite care, personal care services, and skilled nursing. Sunrise's mission is to promote meaningful engagement as a resident progresses throughout all of these levels of care. The Memory Care Unit offers Reminiscence Memory Care Program, a unique neighborhood designed to provide easy navigation and social opportunities for people with dementia. Additionally, each resident is assigned a life enrichment manager and a designated care manager. The LEM's responsibilities include creating a personalized plan that reinforces each resident's identity, needs, preferences, talents, and abilities. They are trained to match each resident's abilities with appropriate activities that promote implicit and procedural memory. DCMs are trained to notice changes in the resident's condition and assist with memory loss. Overall, their role is to encourage independence and promote dignity. All staff are trained in the evidence-based validation method of communication for people with dementia. The facility also offers a wide variety of opportunities for social engagement, including the 8 Live with Purpose activity programs. These include art, music, physical activity groups, among many others. There are no current in-house occupational therapy services offered at Sunrise. However, OT services for residents in skilled nursing are contracted through Health Pro Heritage. Here are some things I found from my lit review. Some characteristics of quality dementia care. Gilmore and Vygotsky found that staff who used person-centered techniques, including giving choices, showing empathy, adjusting to the resident's pace, and appropriate use of affectionate touch, saw less behavioral symptoms than those using a task-oriented approach. Another review found that individualized intervention approaches focusing on residents' needs, history, and wishes resulted in decreased behavioral symptoms and increased psychological well-being. However, here are some common barriers to person-centered dementia care. A systematic review looked at the impacts of burnout of elder care staff. They found high levels of staff burnout negatively predicted the provision of comfort care and support for residents, impacting their overall quality of care. Staff in long-term facilities are often so overworked and understaffed that they don't have time to connect with residents on a personal level. Raber et al. Found that while caregivers in nursing home settings often knew about residents' personal preference for objects in their environment, they had little knowledge about their past roles and life stories, resulting in missed opportunities for meaningful interaction and occupational engagement. Hahn et al. Also found unmet needs in the areas of daytime activities, social company, and psychological distress. Evidence-based occupational therapy interventions. Kumar et al. Found that occupational therapy interventions include relaxation, physical exercise, personal care, cognitive exercise, and recreational activity improved physical and psychological well-being. It also created independence, increased motivation, and reduced psychological symptoms. Smith et al. Found that reminiscence, leisure, expression, and vocational occupation were most effective in increasing well-being, but were also the most seldomly offered. Here are some areas for future research. Hoffman et al. Completed a systematic review of mindfulness-based meditation on adults with dementia and found significant increases in areas of quality of life, mental health, cognition, and functional abilities after their implementation. However, no interventions were completed by occupational therapists. Another study looked at the efficacy of a skill building through task-oriented motor practice approach for a single participant with moderate dementia with promising results. Reminiscence is one of the most commonly used interventions in dementia care. However, studies show little support for its use. Theoretical foundations. The model of human occupation provides a clear framework for understanding both challenges and opportunities for engagement that people with dementia face. MOHO is an occupation-based model that describes the cyclical interaction between individuals and their environments according to three subsystems: volition, habituation, and performance. This model can provide a framework for implementing dementia care strategies that are holistic and client-centered. We can use MOHO to operationalize aspects of client-centered care in memory care units. Specifically, volition should be an area of focus due to loss of occupational identity and motivation mentioned above. Residents with dementia living in memory care units have unique challenges that may inhibit full participation in everyday life. People with dementia often experience confusion, isolation, and stress due to their declining cognitive functions. This is often exacerbated by transitions to unfamiliar spaces such as memory care units. Han et al. Found unmet needs in the areas of daytime activities, social company, and psychological distress. Additionally, people with dementia often experience a loss of identity and meaningful roles that are exacerbated by staff's focus on task completion instead of person-centered care. OT has a unique role in promoting re-engagement in meaningful roles and occupations for this population, and for making the shift back to individualized and holistic care. Past interventions include reminiscence, leisure, expression, and vocational occupation were most effective in increasing well-being, but were also most seldomly offered. However, there is a lack of literature regarding effective interventions specifically within memory care units. The goal of my capstone experience is to implement occupation-based interventions in order to increase meaningful engagement and occupational identity in everyday life. I would ultimately like to advocate for the inclusion of occupational therapy on the in-house interprofessional memory care team. AOTA's Vision for 2025 aims to improve health, well-being, and quality of life for all people, populations, and communities. Here's how I plan to have the DCE follow these guidelines. Here are my learning objectives for this capstone. Objective 1 is to demonstrate clinical competency and evidence-based practice for clients with dementia and memory care. Objective 2 is to evaluate staff perceptions of resident occupational engagement in the memory care setting. Objective 3 is to advocate for OT's role on the memory care unit to OT students and practitioners. Here is my experience timeline. Phase 1, or weeks 1 through 2, will include a facility orientation, a needs assessment, building rapport with LEMs and DCMs, collaborating with the team on treatment planning and documentation, direct one-on-one clinical experience, and participating with and observing existing groups. In Phase 2, I will continue one-on-one direct clinical experience, take on my own personal caseload of 10 clients, begin to recruit residents for groups, identify assessment tools and collect necessary assessment materials, begin a weekly occupational therapy group by week 5, and begin to develop staff resources. In Phase 3, I will increase my caseload to 15 residents per week, finish weekly group by the end of week 10, collect outcome data, and continue writing resources for staff. In week 4, I will give a presentation on group outcomes at the team meeting. I will continue my caseload of 15 residents per week. I will begin to develop a group instruction manual. I will create a PowerPoint presentation to send to stakeholders at other Sunrise sites. I will also conduct a needs assessment for sustainability and marketability of OT services within the unit. Phase 5, I will present my final project to the team, hold an interdisciplinary meeting to discuss project sustainability, and complete a personal keepsake of time together with each resident in our last session. Here is my sustainability plan. As mentioned earlier, I will conduct a needs assessment aimed at sustainability and marketing of OT services during my last week. I also plan to find funding sources to keep occupational therapy services in-house, whether that be through grant funding or funding from stakeholders. I plan to complete resources for staff and hopefully disseminate my results to AOTA. Occupational therapy has a direct role in the implementation of person-centered care in the memory care unit. OT can specifically create and maintain occupational identity for residents with dementia by creating validating environments. Through my capstone, I plan to expand upon services already offered at Sunrise through an occupational lens and ultimately advocate for its inclusion on the interdisciplinary team. That concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for watching.